All right, guys, so welcome back to another video. So this is part two of a two-part video. If you haven't seen part one, please make sure you go see that first. But this is part two of my trip from Anaheim, California and back, so my round trip. So I'm currently in San Jose, California. I'm going to drive down south back home to Anaheim, California near Disneyland. It's about a 6.5 hour, 7 hour drive. So on the way up here, we actually stopped at two Superchargers. Keep in mind, I left home with 100% battery charge on the vehicle, so I only had to stop twice. On the way back, I'm currently leaving the hotel. I'm at 55-ish%, so I'm most likely going to have to stop possibly 3 times. The first stop is going to be relatively short because I just need to get enough charge to get me to Kettleman City, which that was on the first video. I'm going to stop there once more because I like that Supercharger and they always have a lot of stalls. So it is currently 9:30 a.m. I'm going to start early. It's very cloudy outside, so it's probably not going to be as sunny as the first video. But yeah, we're going to get that done and get moving. So let's go check out the navigation. It wants me to stop at 3 Superchargers, as you can see. So it wants me to stop at Gilroy, arrive there at 38%, and charge there for 15 minutes. Kettleman City, I want to go there anyway. It says I will arrive there with 14%, and it would charge for about 25 minutes. And then it wants me to charge at some other Supercharger. I don't necessarily think I may need to do that. I probably would stop somewhere else and not this one because I don't really like this one. Just because, like it says, it has limited amenities. So the thing about Gilroy is there's 2 chargers here. So, and this is only good for people. Well, actually, I stopped in Gilroy on the way up here. So if you're familiar with the city, you will understand and know that it has multiple Superchargers. So I'm going to hit the electrical icon on the side if it takes. Okay. So it wants me to stop in Gilroy. Let me see. Actually, let me not do that. Take that off. Let me go back. All right, here. So this is the Gilroy Supercharger. So if I hit the electrical icon here, you'll see it wants me to stop here, but there's also a charger here. They both have 9 stalls available. The difference is if you click on this stall, sorry about the focus, you'll see that it has 10 stalls available, but it's 150 kilowatts. If you can check up here. The price is, it doesn't actually, 0.46 cents per kilowatt. So if I go down to the other charger, which is literally a few exits up, it has 250 kilowatt is the max, and the price is actually 45 cents per kilowatt. It's actually a cent cheaper, and the speed is faster. So I'm going to manually say I want to go here. So I'm going to end out this navigation, exit out of this. I'm going to end this. I'm going to force the car to go to this charger, and then I'm going to reroute and see where it wants me to go. So I'm going to navigate to Gilroy Supercharger, the fast Supercharger, and it says we're going to arrive there at 36%. At a 250 kilowatt max charger, I really don't like to come or arrive with such a high percentage, but I need just about maybe 5 to 10 minutes of a charge just to get to Kettleman Supercharger. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to stop there. We actually stopped at this same charge on the way up here, so I'm familiar with it. It shouldn't be really crowded because it's early in the morning, and everyone should be at work by now. So let's get moving. I got a long trip ahead of me, so I want to get on the road. So I will check in with you guys in a bit. Yeah, just a quick check-in. Yeah, so I'm just driving down the highway. I just want to emphasize that for any viewers that haven't been to Northern California, or even Southern California in general, it's I think Northern California is one of the most beautiful places on earth. I mean, it's so many mountains, it's so much greenery. They have some amazing hiking trails, things of that nature. It's some great views by the bay, and seeing the bridge and everything. I maybe in a future video when I come up here for work, I will maybe I'll stay for a full weekend and just kind of go around and show you guys like some of the popular sites. I've been to Alcatraz and a lot of things up here. I don't live up here, but I come frequently enough that it's just a really cool place, and it's totally different than what you experience in Southern California, because like I said in the previous video, it's so much desert and it's brown, and it's great by the water and stuff, but outside that, it's not really a lot of trees or anything like that. And up north you get like a total new experience compared to down south. So it's always nice to come up here and see all the trees and see the different animals and just the landscape. It's just a great landscape to be a part of and be in. So yeah, if you've never been up here, or even to San Francisco, just the Bay Area, and just kind of walked around and experienced some of the sites and the roads, like how they incline like crazy. It's really cool experience, especially if you're in a Tesla, where you can kind of just accelerate up the mountains really quick, or the roads. It's really cool. And the hiking near the water, it's great in San Jose, it's great in Santa Cruz, and in the Bay. They have some great hiking trails near all the trees and stuff. So just a thought. I know I've been in New Hampshire and some other places with a lot of trees and great hiking trails, but it's different when you're like kind of overlooking the ocean and stuff. It's really a good experience. So just wanted to throw that out there. I will check in probably when I get to the Gilroy Supercharger, but so far so good. I wanted to leave a little later in the morning, so I left at around 9:30ish so I can beat traffic. So right now it seems pretty chill. I'm hoping that I don't run into any traffic. I'm sure I will. Usually when I make this trip, I typically run into traffic once I either hit construction or I hit LA. It's traffic all the time there, so I can't really control that. But I think for the majority of the ride, it should be pretty relaxed. This is not a popular day to drive back or anything to LA, so I expect the Superchargers to be not too crazy or anything like that. So yeah, just wanted to check in with you guys, and I'll check in a bit. Peace. All right, so we just made it to the Gilroy Supercharger. Didn't take long. It's not full. It's about 3 Teslas here. So let's go and plug in and then see what the next destination is going to be. All right, guys, so we're going to go to the Kettleman Supercharger once more. Gonna hit navigate. It wants me to go to a Supercharger close, but I would rather go to Kettleman because I know I can make it. So I'd rather just drive there. And it has 52 stations available right now, so that's going to be awesome. So right now it's estimating that we'll make it to Kettleman with -6%. So like I said in the first video, I like to give a little buffer, so I'm going to wait until that switch to positive. Now it's at -5%. I'm gonna wait, probably leave once it hits about 15% to 20%. so I have a little cushion in case something happens or I hit some traffic or whatever, or go on a detour. So that's just my thing where I, you know, yes, I can make it with a less percentage estimated, but I just feel more comfortable if I leave with at least 15%, just because I've done enough road trips where I know things can happen and, you know, that's out of your control. So that's just my recommendation for those that may be new to going on Tesla journeys and trips in these vehicles. So I'm gonna sit here. It says 9 minutes remaining to continue trip, which is not that long. So I'm gonna chill here and then head out, and then we'll head to Kettleman. All right, guys, so we just wrapped up charging. I just unplugged the charger. So it's saying that now we can arrive at Kettleman Supercharger with 23%. That's actually higher than I expected. I kind of walked around and did another video while I was waiting, and next thing I know, it's ready to go way further. So this charger stop, I was here maybe, you know, about 10-15 minutes. It told me right when I plugged it in I only had 9 minutes to go, so I was here probably about maybe 15 minutes at the most, and the price for the charging was $11.25. All right, to the next charger. So I just left the Gilroy Supercharger, headed to Kettleman City Supercharger. So I do want to mention, this is more, you know, for the people that have been driving Teslas, you know, for a while. You know, it's probably, it makes sense for us to kind of look and customize, you know, our charging destinations, because we're just so familiar with the aspect of charging. So, you know, when I put in the navigation to go home, the Tesla actually wanted me to stop at a different supercharger. Not a bad supercharger, actually is relatively new, but I actually, you know, but that supercharger I knew didn't have as many amenities as the other, and it also doesn't have the gift shop and things like that. So I just prefer Kettleman City because that's what I'm used to. It's reliable, I always know it's there and it's working. Not saying the other one's not, it's just I'm familiar with that. Every time I make this trip up here, I take that stop. So it's kind of, now it's like a normal thing for me. I just love that stop. It's really a great stop. But if you follow the Tesla's navigation and get there, you will be fine. It's not that I'm, you know, I don't trust the Tesla navigation. I'm just trying to be a little bit more efficient with my travels. So, you know, if I can stay at a supercharger and I'm getting good speeds, stay there for another 5 minutes and go, you know, maybe 70 miles further, I'll rather just do that if I don't believe that I will need to stop and get food or anything like that in the near term. So that's just something I do. I've already eaten breakfast and everything, so I don't intend on stopping or anything. So this 2-hour drive or so, which I could go further, you know, than 2 hours, but, you know, I'm choosing to stop at 2 hours to get a good charge at Kettleman City, and I just like that charger. So if you do get a Tesla, you know, and you're new to it, you know, trust the navigation. You will be fine. Sometimes it really tries to route you through chargers that are, you know, maybe are more, you know, closer, because it's very conservative, as well as, you know, if it knows that a specific charger gets full, a lot of the time it may route you to a charger that's typically empty just for your convenience. But, you know, you can trust the Tesla navigation. It's really good. It's never had any issues. And when I first got my car, I only utilized the Tesla navigation. I never went in and saw what other superchargers were available or nearby or anything like that. I just went to where the Tesla told me to go, and I always made it to my destination. So I just want to throw that out there. Don't think, you know, it's difficult to navigate and you got to customize and do all this stuff and see which one has faster speeds and all that stuff. The Tesla will route you on the most efficient or, you know, navigation route that it can. But, you know, just because I'm more familiar with driving the Tesla and making this trip, I know which stops are more better for me as a, you know, for me, so as individually. So, you know, if once you take a route numerous times, you just kind of know and have a, you know, favorite charger stops and things like that. So just want to throw that out there. So yeah, I'll check in a little bit later and let's continue heading to Kettleman Supercharger. All right, guys, so I just passed a fruit stand in the middle of nowhere that just said they sold avocado garlic ice cream. Comment below if you want to try that. It doesn't sound appetizing to me, but hey, I'm open if anybody else want to try it, but that just sounds kind of weird to me. Just thought I'd throw that out there. All right, guys, so we just pulled into the Kettleman Supercharger. So keep in mind, I decided while I was en route to go to the other Kettleman Supercharger. So there's two here. The one that I went to with the gift shop, it has 40 stalls. About 15 to 20 of those are 250 kilowatts, but it was showing that a lot of those were full. So on the other side of the street next to McDonald's, there's another Tesla Supercharger station that has almost 50 stalls. They're all 250 kilowatts. So this is why I stop at this city, because you have roughly almost 90 Supercharger stations here, and you have so many amenities, not only the gift shop across the street for Tesla owners, but also McDonald's, Jack in the Box, In-N-Out Burgers, just a lot of stuff. So that's why I stopped here. So let's get plugged in and then we'll figure out what the next stop is. All right, guys, so we're starting to ramp up charge. 106 kilowatts, 133. We arrived here at roughly 12:36. We're at 21% state of charge. We're already at 228, 247. So we're almost hitting the max. So this is good charging session. We're at 253. So yeah. All right, guys, so let's see. I probably could make it home, but I like to stop at this outlet mall. It's right here called Tejon Ranch. It's the Supercharger that's on the other side. They have about 76 stalls there. Well, that's available. It usually tells you what the amount, but they have so many stalls. It's like 80 or something crazy. So I like to stop there just to make sure. I get stuck in traffic a lot in LA, and you know, there can be issues and, you know, things like that. So I like to stop one more time. It's usually a very short stop. So if I stay here, I probably can make it. Well, I know I can make it, but I will have to stay here probably about 30 minutes. So I can stay here for only about 10 minutes and make it to the ranch charge. So I like to just stop quickly and get going. I don't like to really sit at a stop that long. And then the stop there probably only be about 5 minutes because it's 250 kilowatts as well. So, you know, as you can see, I'm already dropping down at 191 kilowatts. That's still good speed for 40%, but I'm not at the 253 that I was at earlier. So the lower your state of charge, the faster you charge. So that's why I tend to just stay kind of low. I don't charge upwards of, you know, 70, 80%. Most of the time I did that on the way up here, but typically I don't do that. I stay within like no more than 60%. So I'm going to charge for about 10 minutes here. I'm currently showing, I think it's saying 5% now. Yeah, 5%. So I'm going to let that get to about 15 to 20%. It's saying I got about 5 minutes until it feels comfortable for me to continue. So I'll wait for about 5-10 minutes and go use the bathroom real quick. I mean, come on, guys, look at all these chargers. It's probably at least about 80 chargers here. This is one of those chargers they're probably going to open up for non-Tesla owners eventually, because there's so many chargers in Kettleman City. There's so many positive amenities and things to do here and eat. So it's just so many, and I've never seen these completely full. I mean, they do get full around holidays, but most of the time they're, you know, like this. On normal days, you may get about 20 cars, 30 cars here at a time, but nothing more than that. You're not going to fill up 80 stalls at a time right now. So it's just awesome that they're, you know, continuing to expand this infrastructure, and you know, it's just a great place to stop at, you know. So that's why I like to stop here. Is always guaranteed charging stations available, and yeah, I recommend if you're ever going from LA to San Francisco that you definitely stop here. All right, guys, so it's been about 10 minutes. I'm getting 121 kilowatts right now. It is stating that I will make it with a roughly about 20% state of charge. So it's about time to go. I'm just curious. It's calculating remaining to continue trip. I'm just curious if it's going to pop up saying that I can continue. I know I can, but yeah, so I'm going to go and continue trip and go in and unplug. And actually it just popped up saying you have enough charge to continue your trip. So alrighty, guys, well, that was a short stop at Kettleman Supercharger. I'm at 60% right now. The price to charge right now was, let's see, $12.88. So I believe the last one was about $11 roughly. So not too shabby. I got one more stop. It's going to be very small or short. So we're going to head over to the outlets at Tejon, I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, pretty cool supercharger station at the outlet mall. So yep, let's head there. It should take about 1 hour and 22 minutes, and it's supposed to arrive with 22%. Let's see if that's accurate. But yep, we'll see you guys there, and we'll check in as we go. Alrighty, well, it was nice seeing you again, Kettleman Supercharger. So yeah, the other supercharger across the street at the Tesla gift shop and area on that street that we saw in part 1. But yeah, we're out. 10-minute stop, didn't take long at all. So we're gonna hit back on the highway, get back on the highway, and yeah, it's been very smooth, getting some good speeds on this route back. You know, those are the newest superchargers, or the most recent ones they built here in Kettleman City. So you know, they've been great. You know, no complaints there on the charge speeds. Like I said, I don't like to stay at chargers. Typically, I just plug in, get the quick speeds, and then I move to another charger that I'm familiar with, and I may, you know, grab some food. There's an Ioniq 6, or yeah, 6. That's what it is. So there's also, I believe, an EA charger here. So this is the second Ioniq 6 sedan I've seen. So dope, cool looking car. You know, I think it's great to have options out. It's a great looking car. I personally wouldn't buy it, but it's, you know, great looking car. Definitely good charging speeds, things like that. All it needs is access to the supercharger network, which I believe they are going to do that eventually. So then I think it'll be definitely a great car to have. Good to see, cool to see an Ioniq 6 leaving Kettleman as well. But yeah, we're gonna hit the road, and should be about 1 hour and 20 minutes to make it to the next charging station at the outlet mall. Probably gonna take another bathroom break and things while I'm there. That charge is gonna be really quick, because now that I'm closer to LA, I can just, you know, depending on what the destination, well, my home is my destination, so I know I can charge at home. So I'm not gonna need to get to like 20% or anything like that battery. I'm just gonna make sure that I can make it home, and yeah, and go from there. So if I arrive with 10% or whatever, that's fine. That's enough for me, because I just need to get to the home and plug in. So yep, I will check in a bit. Ioniq 6, man, is going. Like he accelerated. Like, he got some speed on that car. I wonder what model that is. But yeah, he's going to the next probably EA station. So yeah, we'll talk to you guys in a bit. All right, guys, just another update. Just on the road from Kettleman to the outlet mall. It's currently 94 degrees outside. It's pretty smooth, but I am running into a little bit of congestion, mainly because of the large trucks that are clogging up the 2-lane highways. So, but we are making progress. I think I probably will make it to LA roughly about 4 to 5-ish, but you know, you guys will be there when I make it. So but yeah, it's been going pretty good. Nothing crazy. Car is operating great. Like I said, the last 2 charging stations have been great. I've gotten some terrific charging speeds, so no complaints there. I'm guessing I only will have to stop at the outlet mall for about 10 minutes or less, because since I'm going home, like I said previously, I can charge at home, so I don't need to get there with a cushion or anything like that. So we'll see once we get there, and I'll let you guys know what I decide to do. But yeah, I do want to mention that, you know, California is unique. I know a lot of my viewers may not necessarily be here in California, but there are a lot of stations here because there's a lot of Teslas here, and you know, it's not crazy or out of what am I trying to say? It's not you know, it's likely that you will run into a station that has, you know, roughly like 50 chargers or more, because out here is just so much, or so many Tesla vehicles on the road that travel. So, you know, most places on the East Coast or elsewhere, you know, you may have a station with 16 stalls or 32 stalls. Either way, I appreciate that Tesla opens stations with a lot of stalls, because even in California, most Electrify America stations that I've seen that are nearby, you know, or near Tesla Supercharger, typically they only have like 4 to 8 stalls. Like, it's not really a lot. And with how many vehicles are being sold these days that are electric, I really think Electrify America needs to step up their game. Tesla's already, you know, coming up with deals to open up their supercharging network to manufacturers, and I think that's why Tesla did this. Not only just because there's a lot of Tesla vehicles out here, but they're planning on other non-Tesla vehicles using those stations. And you know, if you have 70 stalls, that won't really have an impact too much on current Tesla owners. Now, in places where there, only 8 stalls and things like that, I think that's going to have to be kind of thought a little bit more about. But I think California, certain stalls are good places where you can test out, how much of an inconvenience it may be to open up the Supercharger network. So I'm kind of in the middle about that. I like having exclusivity to the Tesla Supercharger network because it's reliable and it's just what I'm used to. Now, seeing other cars come to it may be different because the Tesla Superchargers are made for Teslas. How you back into each individual Supercharger, in other cars, sometimes the charging port is in the front of the vehicle on the front left, which is not really compatible with Superchargers. So Tesla's going to have to think about how they're going to do that. So it doesn't take up unnecessary stalls because their car can't charge on the right side. So, but we'll see. I'm sure they got a plan for it. The V4 probably will solve this because the V4 Superchargers, next generation Superchargers, because the cords are going to be longer, so those may not be as much of an inconvenience. But cords for the V2s are roughly kind of small, and they're meant for Tesla owners to back into the spot. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, we are about 30 minutes out, and I will update you guys once we get there. Alright guys, so we just made it to the Tejon Outlets Supercharger. As you saw, there's a lot of Superchargers here, and actually there's a lot of Teslas here. This is a great place to stop. They have, definitely a lot of shopping. I don't really need to stop here that long, but if you did and you're on a good long road trip, like, this is a great place to stop. It's pretty much like a mall, but it's all outside. So let's get plugged in, see how long we're gonna be here. All right guys, so just plugged in. We are starting to get the charge. Sorry, I'm gonna record my face this time around just because I'm going home. I'm already at 255 kilowatts. Crazy. It is saying that I need to stop here for about 15 minutes. So that is no time at all, which is awesome. So let me show you real quick. 254 kilowatts, we arrived at 19%. Like I said, the car estimated about 22%, so that's pretty close. I was actually speeding at one point, going a little bit over the speed limit for sure, so it actually dropped a little bit there. But also with all the slowdowns I had to do because of the congestion, that helped a little bit with the efficiency as well. So I mean, great speeds all day. This is my last stop, like I said, 10 minutes, so great. I'm probably gonna go use the restroom real quick, but not too long to be here, so by the time I get back, it'll be time to go. All right guys, so I'm walking to the outlets, probably to use the restroom real quick. But that is what I'm saying about, I was at Kettleman Supercharger, and it told me to get home I would have to charge for about 30 minutes. Now, I was only there for 10 minutes because I routed to come to the outlet mall, and now, well, I said about 25-30 minutes, but it takes into account that the speed is going to slow down as you get closer to the top of the battery. So 10 minutes there, and really I probably could leave here, within 10 minutes or 5 minutes here. you know, keep in mind it wants to leave here with a cushion on the battery. I don't necessarily need a cushion because I'm going straight home and I can plug in at home. So really I only have to be here 5 minutes. So you think about that, it's either 15 minutes or 25 minutes. So I actually save time by moving to 2 superchargers as opposed to going straight home. So just that's why I do that. But we'll check in when I headed back to the car. Just went to the restroom real quick. The car is saying about 5 minutes left to continue on the trip. I really think I could probably leave now, to be honest. By the time I get there, it'll be another 2 minutes. So I don't really need the cushion, like I've said, but you can kind of see all these different types of supercharging stops. They have abundance of chargers. Some of them are at malls, some of them at shopping centers. Some of them are just right off the highway with no amenities but food. But, you know, depending on, you know, what you're doing or who you're traveling with, you may want to stop at the malls. Like if you have a wife, husband, whatever, your family, they may want to walk around, you know, go to some stores and stuff, go shopping and then head back to the car. Or if you're like rushing somewhere, you can stop at superchargers or charge a little bit more at particular charging stops to get a little further. So, you know, it gives you a lot of flexibility. So just do that. But yeah, look guys, it's just such a abundance of chargers. Nice and old Model S there. But yeah, it's like 70 stalls here. Awesome supercharger station, right by the mall and right by the highway. All right, so it's currently saying I would make it home with about 11%. State of charge is saying that I should charge about 2 more minutes. I'm currently at 132 kilowatts, so probably will leave at roughly about 15% state of charge. There's a lot of superchargers on the route there too, so I'm not really worried about whether or not I leave at a good time or I hit some efficiency problems. There is a lot of mountains going that way back home, so we have to go over some mountains and then we come back down on a decline. So should be a relatively cool trip. Probably gonna hit a lot of traffic once I get to near the city. But yeah, this is Tejon Outlet. It's a great place to stop if you're in LA and you're traveling between, you know, North and Southern California. So yeah, we're almost there. Got about another hour and a half to make it home, so it's about to get crazy with this traffic though. I know it, but let's get it going. We gonna make it there. I'm thinking probably about 4 o'clock, 4:30ish. Let's get going. And got the rest of the Friday for me to relax. So thank you guys for sticking with me for this video. If you're still with me, we're gonna make it home back to LA. So let's get rolling. All right guys, we're heading out. Unfortunately, there was an error in the navigation, so we're actually, now that it's accounting for the traffic, it's gonna take 3 hours to get home. So yeah, this is gonna be a longer than expected trip. I thought it was gonna be 1 hour and 50 minutes, which I thought that was too short. So yeah, this is pretty normal. It's a lot of traffic. It's Friday and people are getting off work, so I'm kind of coming back during rush hour, unfortunately. So it's, you know, it's cool. We'll get home probably about 6 something, so I will touch base as we get closer. So yeah, we're gonna go through that. So it's a lot of incline. Pretty much most of it is incline, and then there is decline towards the end of this route. So you lose a lot of efficiency going up this mountain here, but it's a good, you know, like nice views. But yeah, this is why it's important to have a cushion just in case, because it should have taken into account this elevation gain here. But you know, if you're going a little faster than the speed limit, you know, you definitely will lose efficiency here. But definitely nice views, nice route. So it is stating right now that I will make it home with 23%. So I charge a little bit more again, but you know, we'll see. It actually may increase because of traffic now. So all right guys, so just a quick update. I haven't, you know, I just went up the initial portion of the mountain. I'm still inclining for sure, but I dropped already for arrival percentage. As you can see now, it's saying 20%. I left the supercharger with the estimated arrival percentage at 23%. So, you know, as you're going up mountains and you're going, depending on how fast you go, you can go to speed limit, but if you go slightly over it or 5 to 10 over it or more, you will, you know, lose efficiency pretty quickly when you're going on the incline. So keep that in mind. I believe that the navigation is taking into account, of course, all these things, but it also takes into account what, you know, the speed limit of the highway or the route that you're taking. So if you're going over it, you're going to be utilizing a little bit more efficiency than it expected. So keep that in mind. It drops, it goes up, but that's why I always find it important to have a cushion. You know, it tends to go down maybe 5% to up you know, above about 5%. If you're like really on a, you know, really efficient route and you're going really slow, it's very rare that it would drop more than 10% or more unless you're like really speeding or doing something crazy. But yeah, so this is just a kind of an example of how quickly percentages can change. Now you see it went to 21%. So it kind of goes up depending on the speed and everything and the elements around. So keep that in mind when you're making the journey. But you know, it's just easier to have a cushion already set, so you don't have to worry about it fluctuating, because it can be, you know, for new people, it can be a little nerve-wracking to kind of see the percentage going up and down. So just make sure you have a cushion when you're on a long road trip. All right, guys, so I just made it back home from my trip from San Jose. I arrived with 21% battery state of charge. As you may have saw, that it estimated that I would arrive with 23%. So great, it was only 2% off. I was going a little fast because I was trying to beat traffic and make it home as soon as possible. Overall, it was pretty great. I stopped at 3 Superchargers, I think, on the way home. 5 total on the whole trip, 2 when I was going up there. But I have about 21%, like I said. But yeah, I'm gonna plug it in the garage, but I should be good to go. But overall, it's pretty good. I think as far as money, I spent maybe $80, $90 for the whole entire trip, going there and back. So that's pretty good. But yeah, I hope, you know, if you stuck with me this long, I hope you guys enjoyed that trip. It was really long, but it was really fun, and it was great seeing all the Superchargers and getting good speeds. When I stopped in the car, performed great as expected. But yeah, you know, thank you guys for watching my videos. If you like the videos, definitely throw me a like, consider subscribing. And also, if you're in the market for a Tesla, I put my referral link below. I think right now the referral code will get you $1,000 or $500 off, as well as 3 months of free full self-driving. So that's cool, as well as I'll get some points as well. So definitely consider that. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about the trip itself or any specific things, please drop those in the comment section below. But until next time, until the next video, I will see you guys later. And thanks for sticking with me. Talk to you guys later. Peace.